What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the 40K Cafe, and in honor of spooky season, you know we have to cover a 40K horror story. This year, the book that I chose to read was The House of Knight and Chain. It's not a new 40K book coming out in the year 2019, but I've personally never read it, and I decided to pick it up and really enjoy it. I'll try to avoid spoilers as best that I can, but just in case, do be aware I will be talking about it. To keep it brief, the story follows Colonel Mason Strock. He is a soldier of the Astra Militarum returning from the war and is going to be retired to take up his new position as the planetary governor. He returns to his family ancestral home known as Malvale in the city of Valgast, and once arriving to it, he initially looks at it seeing the honorable representation of his family that it was always meant to be. Keep in mind, Colonel Mason is a war-stricken veteran. He suffers from PTSD and his mind is all but fragile. He's seen the horrors of war, and although he's been able to escape the frontline madness, he still has to stamp out the planetary corruption. And throughout the story, you see the lingering effects of war-stricken Mason, and it leaves the reader wondering how much of this is truly in his head or happening around him. Darkness surrounds Mason, whether it is the lingering effects of the corruption of the government, whatever dark entity it is that may be inhabiting his household that haunts him, or is it Mason being left alone with all the horrors that he's experienced and it traumatizing him throughout the story. I personally really enjoyed this story. You get to see the struggles that Mason has to go through as a veteran, and more specifically, a veteran in the world of 40K, somebody that has survived the wars and seen all the horrors that the universe has to throw at them. And this isn't a space marine or other extremely powerful character that is known. It is a standard Astra Militarum colonel that just so happened to make it to retirement. I enjoy the different setting that we get to see a character go through and the other horrors that lurk on beneath one's mind and or shadows. It also does an incredible job of leaving the reader wondering, again, whether or not this is all in Mason's mind or the effects of corruption from the Imperium. I know I really haven't gone into too much detail in this book, but I've really tried to avoid spoilers. I really enjoyed it, and if you can pick it up, I highly recommend it. It's not so much a jump out and scare you horror, but so much a very psychological horror. And to me, those are personally my favorite. So if you're looking for 40K horror or just something different in the 40K universe, feel free to pick up The House of Knight and Chains. And if you read it, let me know what you think about it, because I personally really enjoyed it. If there's any other horrors of 40K that you want me to go over, feel free to drop a comment below. But with that being said, thanks again guys for listening. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Drop a comment if there's anything you want to hear about next. And as always, remember to follow for more.